Eid Mubarak, my loves. Welcome to my channel. My name is Saima, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieved this makeup look in this Get Ready With Me video. So without further ado, let's get started. So as you can see, I have a fresh face, no makeup on, and I'm going to be starting out with my Milk Makeup Hydro Primer. This is an amazing primer, you guys. Not only is it an absolutely incredible base for your makeup, but it feels amazingly cool, and it also helps to get into those smile lines and fine lines on your face, and it actually works to help smooth them out and conceal them so that when you put your makeup on, you don't see any lines or any creases around your makeup, and I think it's absolutely fabulous. Then I go in with my Bobbi Brown foundation. It's an SPF 40 foundation in the shade Warm Sand, and I use my fingers to lightly apply it and dab it into my skin, getting it around my eyes, making sure I'm not getting it around my lips, which is why my lips are kind of pinched like that. But I did put a little bit too much on, so I'm going to be putting it around my neck as well, as I usually do. But then I go in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer, and I just apply it under my eyes, around my T-zone, which means my forehead, my nose, and my chin, and then on the sides of my face around my jaw. And I'm using a beauty blender to dab out the product. You don't want to rub the product into your face because you don't want any streaks, so you just want to make sure you're using your beauty blender to lightly dab the concealer onto your skin. Then I go in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I apply that over the places where I put my concealer. I absolutely love this powder, you guys. This was actually the very first setting powder I ever used in my life, and still to this day it reigns as my favorite, and I see it making a comeback too in the beauty community, which is awesome. So anyway, I just apply that onto my face right where I put my concealer. Then I go in with my Wet n Wild contouring palette, and I'm just going to be using the brown for my cheeks. As you guys can see, I'm trying so hard not to make the fish face that we usually make when we apply a contour. I'm really going for a soft glam look today, so I want to make sure that I'm gently applying everything. I don't want to make anything too harsh. So I'm just applying my contour on the sides ever so gently around my forehead, and I know I applied a little bit too much around my forehead, but that's fine because we can always just blend that out. And then I pinch the brush just to get the sides of my nose as well with my contour. Then I use my beauty blender, and I just buff out the areas where I applied just a tad bit too much bronzer. But then I go in with the shade Secret Santa from my Naughty palette, and I just apply that on my lid around my crease. I want to say I'm making a wing. It's not really a wing, but it's kind of like the outline of a wing, and I just do that on my crease. Then I go in with the shade Charm for the center of my lid, and I just use my finger to lightly apply it. I then go in with this yellowish brown color and I just go over that peachy brown that I did before with my initial wing. And then I also use that sparkly, shimmery charm shade from before on my brow bone. Then I go in with the shade that's a little bit darker than what I used before. It's kind of like a dark brown, and I just apply that on my crease. I then go in with a black shade and I go over the brown once again. And I also forgot to mention, you guys, I also do go into the corners of my eyes because I want to achieve a smoky, very smoky look today. I then go back in with the shade Charm and I apply it on my lids once again. You guys are going to see that I'm going to be doing a lot of reapplying and blending just for the sake of getting this look right. I then tight line my under eye with a black eyeliner. This is a pencil eyeliner that I also use on my top lid as well, just lightly lining the places where I want to put my liquid liner later when I do my lashes. And then, since I am using my highlighter palette as my mirror, I do kind of get a little crazy and use some highlight on my lid. I think it's a great way to help your eyes really pop out if you don't have any shimmer on hand. And then I also use the same black pencil for my eyebrows, just lightly tracing the natural shape of my brow. You don't want to do too much, especially if it's with Eat Glam. You really just want to keep your brows nice and simple so that you can let your eye makeup stand out. So I'm just lightly following the shape of my brow and just filling in the spaces that need filling in. And then I apply a concealer underneath my brows just to make my brows stand out. Making sure I go over that concealer too with some translucent powder as well so that it sets. I then use my Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez liquid liner for my bottom liner, making sure that it's more thick on the outer part of the eye than on the inner. Just lightly outlining a wing as best as I can. Really just focusing on the outer corners of the eyes, as well as underneath the eye. This part is pretty much just me going over my highlight shimmer that I did before with more highlight. And honestly, you guys, go as crazy as you want. I just personally didn't have any shimmer or glitter on hand, and so if you guys don't know, shimmer and glitter is basically like the one thing that you need for glam looks that will really make your eyes pop super easily. But if you don't have that, you can just continue to layer as much highlight until it pleases you and then just blend it out. Now comes the fun part. These lashes are magnetic lashes from Blushberry Beauty. I'll link my code down below for you guys so you guys can get some money off if you guys are interested in getting some. But I pretty much just applied the glue on the lash band itself. Normally I would put it on my lid, but I was just being a little bit more careful than usual, and I just decided to put it directly onto the lash itself and then just go from there. And then I just apply liner on top of that just to even everything out. So right now I'm just applying some more liquid liner on the top parts and on the corners of my eyes, just making sure everything's looking good. Then I go in with my bronzer and I use a really nice big fluffy brush just to place it right on top of where I put my contour. So you just want to go like a little bit above where you place your contour for your bronzer. And then I use my highlight and I place the highlight above the bronzer. So it basically goes contour, bronzer, and highlight for anyone who wants to know. And I also place it around the sides of my forehead. I don't place it in the middle of my forehead. And then I also make sure I apply it around the sides of my face as well. And then I just pretty much go over that until I'm satisfied. Once again, tight lining my eyes with liner. This is just here to show you guys that you're probably going to be doing touch-ups constantly throughout your process, but that's fine. Now on to the lips. We're done with eyes, we're done with face. So I take a wet toothbrush and just to get some more blood flow to the lip area and to make my lips a little bit more plumper, as well as removing the dead skin cells, I just lightly brush over my lips before taking a red liner and outlining them. My final step is taking my lipstick and just filling in my lips. Then just doing some very, very final touches and we're finished.